You're gonna get to see me in action today as I put $2,500 in to become a part owner of a Bitcoin mining company. Now, I think that we're on the edge of a bull market. Every bull market, Bitcoin just takes off. What this means is that traditional finance, people's retirement accounts, those are gonna start coming into Bitcoin. Traditional finance sees Bitcoin as a safe enough asset to, hey, let's start putting people's retirement into it. But this could be absolutely huge for Bitcoin. BlackRock, which is one of the biggest investment companies, they're estimating that they're gonna bring in $13 trillion into Bitcoin. And these ETFs could be approved any day. Could be the end of 2023, could be sometime in 2024. And this could mean really, really big things for Bitcoin. So again, the global market cap of crypto right now is 1.56 trillion. At the height of the last bull market, it was about 3.2 trillion or so. The current market cap of Bitcoin is 813 billion. And the price of a token, although it's not doing great today, is 41,500. Now, I use ChatGPT for as many things in life as I possibly can. But if you take the current market cap of Bitcoin, the current price of Bitcoin, and you say, hey, BlackRock's bringing in $13 trillion. If that all happens, that would bring the price of Bitcoin to $727,000 per Bitcoin. Again, nobody knows the future, but this could be like within a year. Who knows? So when people come into crypto and they think it's all complicated, like, oh, there's so many coins, there's so many altcoins I need to do. I tell people it's very simple. Your best bet, your safest bet, biggest bang for your buck right now is just Bitcoin. It's very simple. Now, if you believe in Bitcoin and you're like, hey, I want to get exposure to Bitcoin in my portfolio. Well, a great way to do that is you can buy Bitcoin for sure, but another great way to do that is through Bitcoin mining. Now, when I told my parents that I had miners in my basement, they thought I had like little men down there that with pickaxes or something, violating some child labor laws or something like that. You've probably heard of blockchain. So you can think of the Bitcoin blockchain as a really long ledger, a list of every transaction, every movement of Bitcoin that's ever been made. So when people make transactions with Bitcoin, they bunch a bunch of those together. You know, maybe people bought some stuff, some people sent some Bitcoin to a friend, whatever. That's all combined together and sent to the miners as here's a new block that we want to add on to the blockchain. And these miners, they're supposed to check the whole blockchain now with these new transactions added on here. This is legitimate, it's valid. Call them validators. And that's what makes it so hard to change the Bitcoin blockchain or to hack it or anything in the blockchain. And then it's sent to the miners. The miners immediately will know, hey, that doesn't match up with what we have, and it rejects it. So again, this is a very simplistic explanation. If it interests you, go research more into it. I'm not gonna do a full video on how the blockchain works right now, but it's very interesting. And whoever solves it first, they're the ones that gets to add that block to the blockchain, and they're rewarded with 6.25 Bitcoin for adding that to the blockchain. So it's doing all this work, solving these algorithms, and then in exchange, it's getting Bitcoin back. So again, Bitcoin about to take off. If you want exposure to it, you can buy it. That's the normal way. Or you can do it the crazy way and mine some Bitcoin. And it's possible for you to get Bitcoin miners for yourself, do it in your basement. Well, I'm gonna do another video soon about the different miners that I have. I have some Kadena miners, I have some Litecoin miners, and I have some Bitcoin miners. I actually even have a space heater that also mines Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments if that sounds interesting. I'll do a video on that sometime. But the problem with Bitcoin miners, they can make your house really hot, break, they can get outdated, you have to maintain them. So for a lot of people, that's not what they're wanting, okay? This is not passive income at all. So another way you can get exposure to Bitcoin is by investing in Bitcoin mining companies. So these are companies that buy hundreds of Bitcoin miners and then they give you the Bitcoin that they earn from this mining. Quantum Expeditions is, they're building a warehouse, then you can invest, put money into Quantum Expeditions and you become a part owner of the company. You get some equity in the company. And there's quite a few different Bitcoin mining companies who've like put out NFTs and things like that. Usually they are paying out a passive income. Quantum Expeditions is doing it a little differently. They're giving you equity in their company. So there will be a dividend. There'll be some kind of income coming in. We don't know exactly what that will look like. But the main selling point is that you will have part ownership in this Quantum Expeditions company. You will be a business owner. So this is more like a traditional venture capital deal. You know, you see on Shark Tank where they say, I'll give you $500,000 for 5% of your company. That's what we're doing here. Quantum Expeditions is using a company called WeFunder. And again, that's a way where you can put in money and you get equity from the company. So now I want to show you, I'm going to put in $2,500 to buy some equity in Quantum Expeditions. So the way that you make money from this is, yeah, there'll be some dividends coming in, but the goal is that eventually either a big company comes in and buys Expeditions, and then if you own 5% of it or 2% of it or whatever you end up investing, you get those proceeds. Another option is if they end up filing an IPO. So an IPO is just an initial public offering, but that's when a private company, which is what Quantum Expeditions is right now, that you might own a little piece of, it's when they decide to go public. So they issue stock for the first time. And when that happens, a ton of capital comes into the business and your equity becomes worth quite a bit. So that would be kind of the end goal that they're looking at. But they're currently raising at a $25 million valuation cap. They already did a round at $20 million valuation. So if they're valued right now at $25 million, and that's where you're getting your equity at. If they end up doing an IPO, we'll say in 4 years. This is what my guess would be, but again, we have no idea. In 4 years, they do an IPO valuation at, we'll say $250 million, then that means your equity is worth 10x what you paid for it. So if I put in $2,500, that means I would get out $25,000, not including any of the dividends that they do between then and now. So if you don't believe in Bitcoin, stay away from this. If you believe in Bitcoin, this could be a great addition to your portfolio. And again, stay tuned. I'm going to put in $2,500. I'll show you how it works. Part of what makes me excited about this project is the team. You know, many teams in crypto, no face, no name. You're just kind of, oh, trust me, bro. You know, those types of things. This team is not like that. So we have Doug, who's been in oil and gas for 20 years. I was able to go down to Dallas and I got to meet the team down there. Maddie is actually a pretty well-known person in the crypto space. You can do some research on him, Maddie Greenspan. He was named Cointelegraph's number 97 people that influence crypto. He was ranked number 97, so he's a pretty big name in the space. Of course, Justin is he's become kind of a good friend, has been working with him. Oz, really smart. Trent's a good guy as well. He loves the Lord as well, so always fun to meet a brother in Christ. The team really sets this project apart, and also the way that they're trying to work with the SEC. So again, when you're dealing with the SEC, the two ways that you can kind of approach it is, hey, let's try to just fly under the radar and just be quiet and hope the SEC doesn't look at us. Honestly, that's what most crypto projects do. Quantum Expeditions not doing that. They filed with the SEC. They're doing their best to be as compliant as they can be, which is the right move. If you want to IPO eventually, you can't just fly under the radar. You got to work stuff out. Let me show you. I'm going to put in $2,500 right now, and I just want to show you that process. Again, wefunder.com/quantumexpeditions is where we're going to go. There are bonuses. You can see a little bit about the team here. You can see some of the videos they've done. Yabonks, Alex, my friend, me, with one of my signature terrible faces for thumbnails. They're talking about what they're going to be doing with the money, where they're planning on building this warehouse. They have some estimates for what could happen to Bitcoin. Again, we're at the very beginning of Bitcoin adoption. The minimum to put in is $100. If you put in $100, you get a shout out on the social media channels. $500, you get a pretty cool hat. So I'm going to get a hat. That's awesome. I'll wear that. $1,000, you get a t-shirt. And $2,500 or above. This is what I'm going to get. I'm going to miss out on the sweatshirt and the bonuses for putting in more than that. But $2,500, you get an ordinal. So that's an NFT that's on the Bitcoin blockchain. We can talk about ordinals. Another topic for another day. But let's do $2,500. So I'm going to put $2,500 right here. It shows me which bonuses I get. I get those 4. I'm going to just click invest. So you can log in. I always log in with Google, which is really helpful. I don't have to remember a ton of passwords anymore. Here are your forms. So again, if you're putting in a significant amount, you really want to read through those forms. Maybe even have a lawyer. If you're putting in $100,000, make sure a lawyer reads through these forms. They're SPV, which is basically just explaining what this investment's going to be and the potential risks and things like that. But I'm investing as myself. You could invest as an LLC, you know, if you're putting in more. It's kind of interesting. You can't actually invest with Bitcoin right now. That's just the way WeFunder does it. That's the way that it's harder regulatory wise if you're going to use crypto for an investment. So again, this is looking to be a legit traditional investment into a Bitcoin mining facility. You have to check, make sure that you understand that you can't just easily get your money back. You're buying equity into a company. You can't just say, hey, I'd like a refund. None of this is financial advice. WeFunder is not a financial advisor or anything like that. So agree to all that. So I connected my bank account through Plaid. Check this. Complete investment. All right, so now I am invested and get a thank you from the team. Why did you invest? Because I love Bitcoin. I think it is the future and love this team. Smiley face. I always put smiley faces. Okay, so then the last thing you need to do is you need to add your tax ID, which if you don't have an LLC or anything, you're just doing this investment for yourself, is just gonna be your social security number. So, and then once I put in my social security number, the commitment was received. It takes about 5 days for it to get out of the bank account, and then I'll have my $2,500 $100 in there, equity received. So if you are wanting to get involved in this project, I'd recommend first, go check out their website, read through what they've got going on, watch my interview that I did with this team. Then you can come over to wefunder.com/quantumexpeditions. I'll leave a link down below, a minimum of $100, and then you can get some equity in Quantum Expeditions, a Bitcoin mining operation. Again, full interview with the team above. If you are looking for more ways to make passive income, I have launched Passive Income Engines. It's a group created to help you deploy a simple passive income portfolio using investments and side hustles. Link down below. Thank you all, and hope you have a great rest of your day.